Almost 24 years ago was the last time I was on this stage, in this room. I was taping my first 1 hour special. It's called Killing Them Softly. My girlfriend was sitting in that row, pregnant. She's now my wife. The baby that she was carrying, my first child, I smoke weed with that nigga now. And what I remember most about that night was the pressure. Before the show, I had to run out there on the avenue and hand out tickets to anybody who would take them because I couldn't even fill the fucking room. And boy, what a difference 24 short years makes. And right before that time, my father had died. He never lived to see me do it. And when he died, I was inconsolable. I thought I'd never smile or laugh again. And the only thing that got me out of that space was a comedian friend of mine, the late, great Norm Macdonald. That's right. Shout out to Norm. And what Norm did, which I'll never forget, is he knew that I was the biggest Jim Carrey fan in the world. Now, I'm not going to go all into it, but Jim Carrey is talented in a way that you can't practice or rehearse. What a God-given talent. I was fascinated with him. And Norm knew that. And he called me up and he goes, Dave, he says, I'm doing a movie with Jim Carrey. Do you want to meet him? And I said, fuck, yes, I do. And it was the first time I could remember since my father died being excited. And the movie was called Man on the Moon. I didn't know any of this. And in this movie, Jim Carrey was playing another comedian I admired, the late, great Andy Kaufman. Yes, and Jim Carrey was so immersed in that role that from the moment he woke up to the time he went to bed at night, he would live his life as Andy Kaufman. I didn't know that. When they said cut, this nigga was still Andy Kaufman. So much so that everybody on the crew called him Andy. I didn't know any of that. I just went there to meet him, and when he walked into the room where we were supposed to meet, I screamed, Jim Carrey! And everyone said, no! Call him Andy. And I didn't understand. And then he came over and he was acting weird. I didn't know he was acting like Andy Kaufman. Just like, hey, how you doing? And I was like, hello. Andy? Now, in hindsight, how fucking lucky am I that I got to see one of the greatest artists of my time immersed in one of his most challenging processes ever. Very lucky to have seen that. But as it was happening, I was very disappointed. Because I wanted to meet Jim Carrey, and I had to pretend this nigga was Andy Kaufman all afternoon. And he was clearly Jim Carrey. I could look at him and I could see he was Jim Carrey. Anyway, I say all that to say, that's how trans people make me feel. Here we go. Now, if you guys came here to this show tonight thinking that I'm gonna make fun of those people again, you've come to the wrong show. I'm not fucking with those people anymore. It wasn't worth the trouble. I ain't saying shit about trans people. Maybe 3 or 4 times a night, but that is it. Tired of talking about them. And you want to know why I'm tired of talking about them? Because these people acted like I needed them to be funny. Well, that's ridiculous. I don't need you. I got a whole new angle. You guys will never see this shit coming. I ain't doing trans jokes no more. You know what I'm gonna do tonight? Tonight, I'm doing all handicap jokes. Well, they're not as organized as the gays. And I love punching down. There's probably a handicap in the back right now because that's where they usually make them sit. I came here to laugh at transgender people. I didn't know this nigga was gonna make jokes about us. Come on, y'all, let's get the fuck up out of here. Yeah, it's about time somebody let these handicaps have it. They done met their match tonight. Fuck them. One time I was on Capitol Hill, and I seen a handicapped congressman. Madison Cawthorn, that's his name. He's a Republican from North Carolina. And he was shocked because I saw him and I go, hello, Congressman. He didn't even know I knew who he was. He turned around. Then I just walked away. I wanted him to see me do something he couldn't do. I skipped. That nigga was mad. He's no longer a congressman. I don't know if you follow politics. I'm not trying to be funny, but he lost his seat. He ran a bad race. Oh, buddy, yes, he did. And you know what he did wrong? He was running for Congress again, and this motherfucker tried to be controversial. He was on all them right-wing podcasts talking all that shit. He was like, Washington is worse than Hollywood. I was at home like, what? He said, these people are disgusting. They have orgies and sex parties and drug parties. And I was thinking, this nigga sounds like Juicy Smouye. He's lying. Now, I don't doubt that they do this kind of shit in Washington. But I doubt he's seen it with his own eyes. Because who the fuck invites a paraplegic to an orgy? So this nigga can roll around and snitch on everybody. I said, there's only one reason you're gonna invite him to an orgy. And you know what that is. Have at it, guys. I can't feel anything. Let's get this bill passed for America. One at a time, folks. Oh, buddy. Yep. Yeah, the handicaps are the new people I punch down on. To be honest with you, I've been trying to repair my relationship with the transgender community because I don't want them to think that I don't like them. And you know how I've been repairing it? I wrote a play. I did, because I know that gays love plays. It's a very sad play, but it's moving. It's about a black transgender woman whose pronoun is sadly nigger. It's a tearjerker. At the end of the play, she dies of loneliness because white liberals don't know how to speak to her. Sad. Speaking of nigger, I've also been working on a book, and this is true. I'm rewriting the American classic, Huckleberry Finn, from Nigger Jim's perspective. It's called The Adventures of Nigger Jim. That's how the book starts. Huckleberry Finn walks up to him and goes, so you're Nigger Jim. And he's like, yo, I just said Jim. What's your name, little buddy? Huckleberry Finn is my name. What? Huckleberry? That's your real name? God-given. You know what? Just call me Nigger Jim. It's fine. I don't care if you are black or white or whatever. If you ever meet a white person named Huckleberry, he has less money than you. That is the white, trashiest name I've ever heard in my fucking life. If you have a name like Huckleberry, you're doomed to fail. If I was in court and my lawyer came up and was like, I am your attorney, Huckleberry Finn, I'd be like, uh-oh, I'm going to jail. God forbid I ever go to jail. But if I do, I hope it's in California. Because as soon as the judge sentenced me, I'll be like, Your Honor, before you sentence me, I just want the court to know I identify as a woman. Send me to women's jail. And as soon as I get in there, you know what I'm gonna be doing? Give me a fruit cocktail, bitch, before I knock your motherfucking teeth out. I'm a girl just like you, bitch. Come over here and suck this girl dick I got. Don't make me explain myself. I'm a girl. The second time I met O.J. Simpson was right after the trial of the century. There I was, now a young man of probably 23. O.J. Simpson was the most famous or infamous face on planet Earth. I was in a restaurant in Beverly Hills with my agents. I wasn't alone in the restaurant, but I was alone. I was the only black person in the restaurant. And in the 90s, that felt very uncomfortable. Now I tend to enjoy it at this age. I was having dinner with my agents, celebrating a deal that they told me was lucrative, but I later learned fucking sucked. And suddenly, a group of women walked by. Every race was in that group. Black, white, Asian, Latina, white, and white again. They were all gorgeous. I watched them walk by. Then I saw a familiar face. Al Collins, the man from the infamous Bronco check, towards the door. Couldn't believe what I saw. And then, close behind him, was O.J. Simpson, newly released from jail. The restaurant fell still. I was shocked. I didn't mean to say it out loud, but it just came out. O.J. He stopped, turned around to see who said it, saw my black face, and correctly assumed it was me. I was sitting in the corner of the booth. He leaned over all the white people I was having dinner with and shook my hand. How are you, young man? He looked in my eyes, and I could see in his eyes that he didn't remember meeting me the first time. And then he walked away. And I looked back at my agents, and all of them had nothing short of disgust on their faces. And the only one with the courage to voice their disgust was a woman named Sharon, who used to represent me. How could you, she said. How could you shake hands with that murderer? I said, Sharon, with all due respect, that murderer ran for over 11,000 yards. And his glove didn't fit. Glove didn't fit. Get over yourself. Some people can't do that. Some people just can't get over themselves. Gay people have a hard time doing that recently. Here we go. Here comes the deep water. No, recently I've noticed that. I noticed it with that Manny Pacquiao controversy. Yeah, no, it was now in the gay community's defense, Manny Pacquiao said some outlandish shit about gay people. Very, very not nice things that I won't repeat, but there was biblical verses and some analogies to animals. Wasn't a good look. Nike took his shoes immediately, which I thought was a little harsh. A little harsh. You know what I mean? Because he's, just because he's Asian. You know what I mean? Fuck, you gonna take shoes off Asian dude to appease a gay dude. You know what I mean? No? You don't know what I mean. But Asian people kind of know what I mean. No?
No Asians in the front? No? No, this is what I mean. Okay, look, okay, you're an Asian dude. No, I say this with no disrespect, but we're all Americans, right? And we can agree that America has a huge body count all over the world, but nowhere more than Asia. Literally, if you look at history, recently, we have bombed the masculinity out of an entire continent. We dropped 2 atomic bombs on fucking Japan, and they've been drawing Hello Kitty and shit ever since. There's a lot of lady boys in the wake of our bombs. And I know these things because my wife is Asian. She's Filipino. All right, well, okay, so that explains it. Now you know why you see me at all those Filipino events. I'm not there picking up pussy, I'm dropping some off. I take my wife to all that shit. I took my wife to see Pacquiao fight Mayweather. We sat ringside, okay? That was a quiet car ride home. That's what that was. But if you know what's popping in the Philippines, you know that they got a whole generation of kids in the Philippines growing up without their mothers. Yes. A lot of women in the Philippines go to the Arabian Peninsula, they come to the United back home, which is still one of the #1 staples in the Philippines economy, money that their expats send back to the Philippines. The men, on the other hand, are left rearing children, twiddling their thumbs, waiting on their wives' checks. These men have been fucking emasculated. And then suddenly, a boxer rises from amongst them and reinstates their manhood with his motherfucking fist. This is not the guy you're supposed to ask, what do you think of homosexuals? He's not your champ. Shit. That's why I don't have a sneaker deal, because if you say something that people don't like, they'll take your fucking shoes off. Throw the hat. They've got the longest mental gap to bridge. That's all I'm saying. Because, you know, whenever I see one of them T's on the street, I don't mind them, but I'll be like, man, I miss Bruce. I'm sorry, guys. I'm 42. I remember Bruce Jenner. Before the Kardashians, before all that, this motherfucker was a white American superhero. It was amazing. He was beating Africans at track and field. We'd never seen anything like it. He was on my cereal box growing up. You know how much of that cereal I ate, nigga? I didn't know he was gonna do that. I knew before you guys knew. I heard things on the street in Hollywood. You know, you just be out, see people. Hey, what's up, Kanye? Why the long face? Nigga, you'll see. Got 2 mother-in-laws now. And when I heard he was gonna do it, I was scared. I didn't think the public was ready. I didn't think the media was ready. And you know what? I was wrong. Never seen anything like it. Welcome to the world, Caitlin. So long, Bruce. Hello. Somebody called me a nigga in traffic last Wednesday. It's so long, it takes a minute. My wife's friend, Stuart, told me that. My wife has a lot of gay friends. Stuart's their leader. She has a lot of gay friends. And I don't like them. Not because they're gay, I'm just judging them on the merits of their character. They're just not nice dudes. They're fucking rude house guests. They're sitting on my couch, giggling with my wife, eating my motherfucking macaroons. And I come in, they act like the party's over. Hey, Stuart, what's going on? This guy talks to me the way a cat would speak if a cat could talk. Hi, David. Stuart, what's all the beef, man? What's going on? He always wants to have some kind of gay political argument. The last one was about a petition in federal court to take the words husband and wife out of the law. I said, well, why would you want those words out the law? He said, because it discriminates against same-sex couples. I was like, niggas, please save me the semantics. Just trust me, take your chips and get the fuck out of the casino. You're about to side, talk that over amongst yourselves, and whichever one of you is gayer, that's the wife. No, Stuart didn't like that. Stuart educates me about this movement, you know what I mean? I didn't even know shit about it. He told me it's called LBGTQ. I was like, what the fuck is the Q? Does that even make sense, Q? Turns out Q is like the vowels. That shit is sometimes Y. It's for gay dudes that don't really know they're gay. You know what I mean? Like prison fags who are like, well, I'm not gay, nigga. I'm just sucking these dicks to pass the time. I'm not G, I'm Q. Ugh. I think, okay, again, of all those letters, the T has the toughest road ahead. In fact, I think the T should stand for tough. If Martin Luther King had a sneaker deal, we'd still be on the back of the bus. They always true, the Nike exec come up, hi, Martin, we need you to tone down the talk of civil rights and blacks being humans. It's upsetting our southern distributors. But I don't understand. I thought that's why I had a sneaker deal in the first place. Not quite. Really, it's a walking shoe, and we like the marching, but try to understand. Fuck that shit. You know, I get it, though. I understand why gay people are mad, and I empathize. You know what? I'm just telling you this as a black dude. I support your movement, but if you want to take some advice from a Negro, pace yourself. These things take a while. Just because they passed the law doesn't mean they're going to like it. Brown versus Board of Education was in 1955. I was shocked. Is this happening? Wait a minute. Is this a time in American history when an American can make a decision for themselves, and even though other Americans don't understand it, they'll support it and let this person live a happy life? Is this what's happening? If it is, then good for America. That's Dave Chappelle, the American. Although Dave Chappelle, the black American, he was a little jealous. I was like, how the fuck are transgender people beating black people in the discrimination Olympics? If the police shot half as many transgenders as they did niggas last year, it'd be a fucking war in LA. I know black dudes in Brooklyn, hard street motherfuckers that wear high heels just to feel safe. Transgenders are gangsters. I used to do business with a transgender in Hollywood. Man, everybody would be scared of her in the boardroom. She'd walk in there, newly minted woman, high heels, purse. Shit. And then she walked to the head of the conference table, stare at us all, reach in her purse and pull her old dick out and throw it on the table. Let's talk business, gentlemen. Ah! Shit is scary as fuck. If your best friend pitched that to you, you'd be horrified. Yo, nigga, let's go to the hospital and cut our dicks off and make pussies out of them shits. What? Can't we just get matching jackets or tattoos or something? Sure, that's what you want to do? There's only one way to find out, nigga. Wu-Tang, bow, bow. Let's go to the club and trick niggas into fucking us, yeah. I've been watching that new OJ show. I can't get enough of that shit. Doesn't it bring back good memories? But I forgot how, like, just how polarizing that OJ case was. And you know, I've met OJ Simpson on 4 different occasions in my life. And before the end of the show, I will tell you about each of those occasions. The first time I met OJ Simpson, I was in Santa Monica. Santa Monica? Yeah. I can't believe a black dude was like, Santa Monica. He was the last niggas I expected to say that. Let's see your shoes. You got some Vans on, nigga? What you got on? Santa Monica! You? At the time, I was 18. I had done a show, and then a guy from the club came up and was like, hey, O.J. Simpson's here, and he said he wants to meet you. I said, what? Fuck yeah. I ran down the steps, and O.J. was down there. He was like, hey, yo, man, how are you? It's very good to meet you, and you're doing really good work, and I hope good things happen for you in your life. Standing beside him, well, I don't know the nice way to say this, his soon-to-be slain wife. Ladies and gentlemen, man the fuck up or you're not gonna make it through the end of this show. Just man the fuck up. She's dead, you already know, we know what happened. We don't know who did it, but we know what happened. I should tell you that woman was very nice to me. She actually embraced me. She said, I think you're adorable. And she hugged me. She goes, good luck to you. And she held me for a long time. And I whispered in her ear, bitch, are you trying to get us both killed? I was kidding, I didn't say that. But that was the first time in a nutshell. It's good to see so many different people here from so many different ethnicities. Very diverse crowd. Looks like you thought Bernie Sanders was gonna come out in this motherfucker, but surprise, it's me. Yeah, no, you know, I'm happy really to see black people come. You know, a lot of black people don't fuck with me like they used to. But there's a lot of reasons, a few reasons you don't see black people at my shows. One is because obviously black people have slower internet connections. I mean, that would be my guess. I don't know what. Actually, my own actions drew a wedge between me and the community I hold so dear. A couple of weeks ago, I was supposed to be in Flint, Michigan for a charity benefit that was supposed to raise awareness for the appalling condition of the water in Flint. I don't know if you know this, but the water in Flint is fucking poisonous. It's actually making people sick. I mean, Hollywood people like, so what? At least they have water. This water's fucked up. So a lot of black celebrities flew into Flint, and they did a tremendous charity benefit, and I was on the schedule to appear. So the reason a lot of people haven't heard about this benefit, it was the same day as the Oscars. Right, I know. So I was on my way to the airport to go to Flint, and then Chris Rock calls me and is like, hey, Dave, I got a ticket for you for the Oscars. Can you make it? And I was like, sure, nigga, I'm on my way to the airport right now. Oh, come on, man. What am I going to do about that water? What am I, a fucking superhero? I need to have fun. I need to live, too. I didn't fuck that water up. Stevie Wonder was there. They didn't need me. I'm sorry, everybody. I've never been to the Oscars. You've seen the movies I make. I was excited as fuck. I knew I was going to get in some trouble because when I was walking in the red carpet, the black press came after me. Excuse me, brother. When you hear somebody call you brother too much, something terrible's about to happen. Excuse me, brother. And then I looked back and the motherfucker had a tuxedo with the kente cloth tie. I said, uh-oh. He said, I just want to ask you a couple questions. I said, what publication are you with? Bongo, what the fuck? Who the fuck reads this? He said, listen, brother, I just want to ask you a quick question. You understand that this year, this is a boycott for the Oscars, so I'm just wondering what made you, of all people, cross the motherfucking picket line and be here tonight. I said, a boycott? Nigga, I haven't been working in 10 years. You mean boycott? I've been on strike. Y'all niggas didn't stop working. I had to watch fucking Key and Peele do my show every night. Fucking Daily Bongo is what I said. I went to Oscars and had a wonderful time. I went in that fucking green room. It was filled with so many stars, I couldn't even believe what I was seeing. Hollywood was seducing me all over again. I was sitting back there, I'm smoking, drinking with the stars. And then 2 Hollywood movie producers came over right to me. Oh my God, Dave Chappelle, said the leader one. He was obviously gay. Some guys you can just tell. The other one seemed like a money guy, like maybe he was from Texas or some shit. But the gay one was definitely the leader because he did all the talking. And then he hit me with, so David, do you have any movie ideas that you would like to pursue? The truth is, I don't. But if you know the game, you're not supposed to tell motherfuckers you don't have ideas. I was like, yeah, man, I got plenty of ideas. And he called my bluff. Really? Like what? Huh? Oh. And then I just started making up shit that I thought maybe he'd like to see. I said, I have a superhero idea. He goes, really? I go, yeah, he's a gay superhero. He was like, really? What's it called? Huh? Oh, it's called Same Hero, New Boots. It's about a gay sous chef in San Francisco. When he's taking out the trash, and he's blessed with powers beyond his wildest dreams. Supersonic, gay kind of powers. And he starts saving everybody in San Francisco. But at first, he only saves gay people. Later, he saves everybody, and the whole city just falls in love with him. The only problem is, no one remembers him when he saves them. Well, I don't understand. Why wouldn't they remember him? I said, because, dummy, he's gay. He keeps changing his outfit. People come up, thanks for saving, mister. What's your name anyway? And he's like, same hero, new boots, and that motherfucker flies away. He's like, I like it a lot. The Texan didn't like that shit at all. He was upset. That's impossible, gay superhero. I said, well, I have others. I have a superhero you love because he's stronger than Superman and he fights for truth, justice, and the American way like Superman, but more than Superman. He beats up Mexicans for no reason. The Texan's like, you got my attention. Do all this great shit. Only problem with this guy is he can't even activate his powers unless he touches a woman's vagina. Not a long touch, just a couple of pats. He said, well, what's the problem with that? I said, well, the problem, sir, is that our hero is not, he's not a handsome man. And he's often short on cash. So whenever trouble breaks out, he has to run around the city and convince women to let him pat their vaginas. Please, miss, that building's on fire. Can I pat your vagina quickly? People are dying, but he can't tell them exactly why. Ugh, get away, you're gross. Please, miss, people are dying. Just a couple of pats. Ugh, gross, get away. So he rapes them. I know. That's the dilemma for the audience. Because he rapes, but he saves a lot of lives. And he saves way more than he rapes, and he only rapes, but he does rape. I didn't realize it, but the whole green room was looking at us. All the celebrities were disgusted. Oh. That guy from Texas was like, here's my card. Call me on Monday. That worked out.
All right, everybody, we are back. My first guest is the star of the Comedy Central series Chappelle's Show. This Saturday, you can see him in his Showtime special, Dave Chappelle, For What It's Worth. Please welcome, hottest guy out there right now, Dave Chappelle.
Man.
Dave, here we go. To be fair, some of that was spillover from my monologue.
You better
some
keep
love.
them dances ready. I got nothing tonight, buddy.
How are you?
I've been.
You know, when I wear that shirt, I don't get away with it.
You know what?
Hi, everybody.
Yeah. That's right.
How are you?
I'm great, man.
You're great. You're doing it's just amazing. First of all,
I'm blown away by what's happening to me this summer. It's been incredible.
Yeah, and I don't want to embarrass you, but that's part of my job. You made this deal everybody's been talking about, and no one deserves this more than you. Sometimes people in show business make these deals, and you think, that's scum. But, Eric Estrada, what? I'm after Estrada. He's getting away with murder. But no, but you made this deal, Comedy Central, huge deal, $50 million deal. Everybody's talking about it. What are you going to do with that money? How has this changed your life?
Nothing's changed, man. I spent $100 grand on leather pants.
But you were probably doing that before.
I mean, yeah, it's all the same. I've been giraffe shopping with the Jacksons. But other than that, it's just the usual stuff. It's just that my old friends aren't into giraffes like I am now.
Right.
They can't keep up with me.
They can't keep up with you. It's just a difference. What about offers to do movies? You know, I mean, I know you've done movie work before, but now you're this hot, the phone's got to be ringing off the hook.
Yeah, it's funny, because before I wasn't getting any movie offers, and now I get a lot of offers for, like, bad movies. Mm-hmm. Like those Planet of the Apes type roles.
What?
You saw that movie Planet of the Apes with Mark Wahlberg.
The remake, yeah.
Well, yeah, they're both racist to me, man. Like, the first one was like, you know, just get your damn dirty ape hands off me. I'm like, oh, come on, what are you really talking about? Or like, and then I see the new one, I'm thinking, this is a more progressive time, this will not be as racist. And then they had the apes was setting the dinner. Yeah, I'm not even making this up, they was eating watermelon. I was like, oh, come on, man. So the apes was eating watermelon. And then, like, later on in the movie, they're running from the apes and, like, running the water because the apes can't swim. Which is like, oh, word, see, these apes can talk, but they can't swim. And then at the end, it's like, when I seen the ape smoking a Newport, I just got up and...
Yeah, you're right. That's not good.
That's another thing that's changed since I made all this money. I stopped smoking menthol.
There you go.
I didn't stop smoking, but I don't smoke anything that they market to black people.
Really?
That's where the poison is, as far as I'm concerned. I can't make it that easy, baby. I keep them confused. I'll smoke stuff like Virginia Slims. I look at the box like, nobody's gonna hurt this white woman. Give me 2 packs of Virginia Slims.
It's not right.
Smoking is bad, everybody. Kids, if you're watching, don't smoke.
But it's pretty funny to talk about.
Yeah.
Now, I don't want to pry, but I'm going to take a shot at this. Who are you going to vote for in this election?
You know, it's funny. I was really into Kerry. Mm-hmm. Then when I got all this money, now Bush is looking a little better now that I got this money. I'm torn.
It changes.
I mean, I'm black, yet I'm rich now, so I just got all the feelings I have inside. I don't know. Oh,
What are you going to do?
which one of these white people gonna take care of me?
You're going to be in that voting booth with your Virginia Slims, thinking about it.
In my leather pants and ascot.
Giraffe's going to lean in. Hurry up! Let's go. Now, are you going to be a charitable person now? Is this going to, you know, and maybe you were before, but do you think you're going to try and help the people around you?
Well, since I've joined the Republican Party, no, I'm not. That's good. That's good. That's good.
They'll take care of themselves.
Nah, man, I'm pretty charitable. There was, matter of fact, there was a guy that used to live in front, and he wasn't even, I shouldn't say lived, he was homeless, obviously homeless. He used to stand in front of my apartment. And one night I was coming home from shooting late, and I saw him, it was cold out, he's shivering. So I just gave him $20, which is something I didn't think about. Just get something to eat, man, whatever. And he was so grateful. I'll never forget. He was just like, thank you, brother. This means a lot. I'll never forget you. And people say that all the time. This guy never forgot. As a matter of fact, he came to my house every day after that, knocking on the door. He's like, come on, man, I just need some money. I could get something to eat. And he's shivering. I'm like, come on, dog, it's July, for real. What you want? He's like, I'm hungry, please. So he's hungry. I'm not going to turn away a hungry person. And I'm like, well, what are you trying to eat? He's like, what? A burger. I need a burger. But I'm like, I need more information. Do you want cheese on it? Do you want fries? Different burgers cost different amounts, right? I need to know how much money to give you. He's like, I want some crack, okay? I want some crack. Maybe some fries, too, but mostly crack.
You were wasting the guy's time. He had business to do.
I felt bad. But then I'd see him, and I'd try to, like, encourage him, like, you know, when I'm coming out. Like, you can beat that crack. And I guess that's, like, an annoying thing to say to a crack addict, because he's just like, all right. Easier said than done. Thank you very much for that encouraging word.
Until you mentioned it, it never occurred to me. Now, I can't believe this, but you were invited to go to the Republican convention. That's true?
Well, no, kind of. What happened was I was doing that Anderson Cooper show.
Right.
So Anderson was tied up at the convention. He's like, can we come interview you on the floor at the Republican convention, which is too much attention for me. I mean, any black dude that walks in there is going to have a million cameras on. If Bigfoot walked in at the same time, they'd be like, Bigfoot's a... Dave Chappelle! At the... Bigfoot is taking a seat with the Colorado delegation. And Dave Chappelle's a black person at the convention.
Now, how are your... And again, this is about your life, but I know you got two boys.
Yeah, man. These
Did
guys...
I just... You act like I just reminded you.
Yeah. No, man.
Oh, yeah.
Those
Yeah.
guys, man. I hope y'all are watching. Y'all should be asleep. But,
How are they? How are they doing?
they're great. My oldest son just finished his first year of school. If you want to call it school, I mean, he's like 4. So I don't even know what they're learning. I went to one of, you know, those parent-teacher conferences, which I was nervous, because if they say anything less than he's incredible, then I'll get mad. So, but she was like giving me his report card, like his running is great. His jumping is incredible. She goes through all the litany, she goes, but he needs to learn how to use his words more. So I'm like, what does that mean, use words? She said, well, like at nap time, if someone's sleeping on his mat, he should come tell me and not kick that person. I was like, what you think I'm raising, a snitch? Kick him, son. You guys want to get some help? Kick him.
This kid's doing the right thing.
That's right. I'm trying to get him to keep it real, you know.
Keep it real.
Yeah, man. I don't
Good.
want no son to come telling everybody who does something. Just kick him.
Kick him hard.
Yeah, he'll move. Just kick him.
All right. Well, Dave Chappelle, For What It's Worth, premieres Saturday night at 9 on Showtime. And you know what? No one deserves all the success
Man,
more than this guy
appreciate it.
right here. Dave Chappelle. Keep going. Rose Byrne. Coming up, we'll take a break. We'll be right back. That's funny.
having this discussion not so very long ago with Jerry Seinfeld. He said that when he's in a situation where he senses that things are not going his way is when all he does is rely on the material. He doesn't worry about anything else. He just goes right on with his material, and sooner or later he will prevail. Do you have that experience?
Not at all. No.
Do you still get nervous when you do shows, or this is a piece of cake to you?
Well, one time it didn't work out.
Yeah, and sometimes it don't work. You know what it's like? And Donnell, you can attest to this. When people ask me, like, do you get nervous when you go on stage? It's like asking a pilot if he gets nervous before a flight. I might hit some weather. Yeah, I might hit some weather, but I feel like normally we land the plane. I don't think we've ever not landed. Maybe Detroit, but other than that was done.
I mean, you know, being a celebrity, your realm of getting in trouble is worse than the average person. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, the average dude got to go out and look for trouble. I'd be sitting around mind my own business, and dude come up, hey, man, you're Dave Chappelle. I'm like, yeah, what's up, man? Hey, I got 12 naked bitches in a hot air balloon. You trying to roll with me?
This game has gone off the rails.
It's insane to have you do
control
of your show. I'm not losing control. I hope not. It's too late. It's too late now.
Yeah, don't lose your show.
Yeah, here we go.
I feel very lucky that I got to know him. Mm-hmm. I feel like he's a very large part of the reason that I got to be successful. Mm-hmm. Like, literally, he changed my life just by saying, I fought Rick James many times. We were like, what?
He fucked Rick James.
Fought Rick James.
Oh, I thought you said
Jesus Christ, Charlemagne, Jesus Christ.
I don't know what accent that was.
Whoa.
I don't normally do this, but it was Jessica Simpson. I said, let me just see, you know, what's going on. So I went up, I'm like, hi, Jessica Simpson. I didn't know what to say. I'm like, my name's Dave Chappelle. I was like, I'm on TV too.
Yeah.
And she was like, I know who you are. And I was like, I knew it, bitch. I didn't say that to her.
So did you go to a psychiatric hospital?
In South Africa?
Yeah.
Who?
I'm only asking because I need to ask.
I gotta get people thinking, all right, who goes from America to Africa for medical attention?
The reason most people have a show and then don't have a show is because they say, well, we don't want you to have a show anymore. But that wasn't the case here. The case here was I guess you said, I don't want your show anymore, and you took a hike.
It's worse than that.
It's worse.
Yeah.
Well, now, are you tired of talking about it? It's 10 years, of course you're tired of talking about it.
I don't talk about it. It's like, you know, I just, you know. Listen, here it is. Technically, I never quit. I'm 7 years late for work. My son was back there, and I have another son that's coming this weekend.
Oh yeah?
Yes, we're gonna have a swell time.
Do they enjoy living? Do they enjoy living in Ohio?
Yeah, they don't know any different. Like, they love it. That. You know.
He didn't mean it like that. He didn't mean it like that.
I sat back down. As a matter of fact, I was finishing my soup up, and she was leaving. This was crazy. She came up to me as she was leaving. She was like, bye, Dave Chappelle. It's nice to meet you. And she gave me some sugar, just a little.
She gave you a kiss?
Yeah, which was crazy. Because I opened my mouth a little bit.
I was in Portland, Maine. Mm-hmm. Oh, do you remember that? And,
yeah.
And I was walking in the mall, and I guess you guys had been there an hour before me, so they just thought I was like a lost route. They were like, I look at it like this. I'm at a restaurant with my wife. It's a nice restaurant. We're eating dinner. I look across the room. I say, you see this guy over here across the room? He has $100 million. And we're eating the same entree. So, okay, fine. I don't have $50 million or whatever it was. But say I have $10 million in the bank. The difference in lifestyle is minuscule. The only difference between having $10 million and $50 million is an astounding $40 million.
How old were you when you started?
I was 14.
Your mom let you go gig at 14?
She used to have to take me in the beginning. I can't really say it on television. She would critique my act. on the drive home, which was a very long ride. You don't want to hear your mom say, like, those jokes need to be cut and all that stuff.
I saw your baby, very nice. God, baby's, how old's the baby now?
He's 18 months now.
Oh, that's very cool.
He can't quite talk yet, but that's what I'm waiting for.
Yeah.
For him to talk.
Yeah.
Because when have you ever had a conversation with a guy that lived in your balls, you know?
Thank you. Good night, everybody. See you next week. Thank you.
The vagina is stronger than money.
Stronger than money.
Yes, if I could, I'd put one in my wallet. I would get a whole new wardrobe. And then I go to pay for it and say, this is going to be cash or charge. And I say, I'll pay with my vagina. You just take that in the bank and process it.
So what happens? You get out of the police station.
Well, I go there, you know, I believe the fear is that, you know, the police, you don't want to go in there because, oh, while you're here, you might fit a description. Why don't you come back here and we'll process it. I don't want to get put in the lineup, you know. You know the lineup.
I know the lineup, yeah.
And especially if it's one of them good lineups where all the guys kind of look like you. He'd be in the line like, oh my God, they do kind of look like me. You know?
Were you actually in the lineup?
Oh yeah, I've been in the lineup before. I would try to change my face and stuff like, you know. And a lady actually almost picked me. She was like, wait a minute, this guy, he looks familiar. It's like, bitch, I've been on television. Be careful, man. You know, I learned about London. I didn't know they called cigarettes fags over there.
Yeah, you got to kind of know that before you go.
Yeah, I was in a bar and the guy came up to me. I'm dying for a fag. Like, ugh, man. Why are you telling me this? Like, am I in the wrong bar?
How old is your baby?
Nah, yeah.
How old is your baby?
She's 2.
Oh, okay. She's too old for my baby to fight.
To fight?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
I like baby fights. I like to put them. I like to have them in there with other babies and just mix it up.
She's the wrong weight class. Yeah.
The whole Black History Month, I was down south. And it was crazy. I was scared to go, you know. And I got there and it was not scary at all. It was nice there.
Right.
And I mean, not to say they don't have racism, but they're comfortable with their racism.
Right. Right.
You know, morning, nigger. Morning, sir. Boy, that was good.
How old were you when you made your first TV development deal?
19. My mother and my grandmother were freaked out. You know, I was the first person in my family not to go to college that had not been a slave.
Right.
So I was really breaking from tradition, and it was like a graduation lunch we were having, and they had my dad come and talk to me, and my dad takes me outside, and he's like, listen, and this is some advice that applies to all you acting students. He says, to be an actor is a lonely life. Everybody wants to make it, and you might not make it. And I said to my dad, well, that depends on what making it is, Dad. He was a smart ass kid.
Yeah.
It depends on what making it is there. He says, what do you mean? I said, well, you're a teacher. I said, if I could make a teacher salary doing comedy, I think that's better than being a teacher. And he started laughing. He said, if you keep that attitude, I think you should go. He said, but name your price in the beginning. If it ever gets more expensive than the price you named, get out of there. Thus, Africa.
Man, I gotta tell you, when I was sitting here watching what all the other honorees have done with their lives, I started feeling like shit. Like, this is terrible. And then Bobo brought me up and started out good with that Ali picture, and then it just... But that coloring book that was in the picture, I know the Ali's are here, that coloring book, my mother has it. And the champ, he signed it. You know, the greatest, he signed it, Muhammad Ali. And his sparring partner was there that day. And his sparring partner signed it, said the next heavyweight champion in the world, Larry Holmes. And he was. And 2-year-old Dave Chappelle colored all in that shit and just ruined the book. But I remember part of the book that I remember real vividly, because I asked my mother about it when I was a kid. There's a part where there's a picture of Ali throwing his Olympic gold medal into the Ohio River. That's why it's so weird for me being here. You know, both my parents were very brilliant. My dad went to Brown in 1955. That's right. He told me at the time he was one of 3 black students. He said one of the guys got accused of a rape that he probably didn't commit. And the other guy killed himself, and Dad said, and I left. And see, that's what makes us Chappelle's great. We know when to quit. We all just live to fight another day. I gotta say, I'm very honored to be here, and I'm very honored to be here with the other honorees. Really, I'm like very humbled by you all, the work that you do, and you all make me want to be better. All of you. And you know, I was gonna stop doing stand-up for a while because 4 comedy specials in a year is like, that's a lot, you know. But you know, shout out to my colleagues in comedy. I just want to say that in a way, this for me belongs to my mother primarily, who was an African American studies professor, and a lot of the content that I say, she raised me well. I'm not an uninformed person. But also, you know, my colleagues in comedy, like comedians have been getting beat up pretty bad recently, and we're somehow nowadays expected to speak with the precision of attorneys or politicians. We are not. I always think of James Baldwin. You know, James Baldwin was one of my favorite writers because he managed to tell white people what they feel like to be around. So I ain't gonna hang up my gloves yet. I think I got one more special in me. So to quote Baldwin, God gave Noah the rainbow sign. It's no more water, it's the fire next time. Thank you very much.
And so if you would, please join me in welcoming Dave Chappelle home again.
Oh, thank you. You know, I speak for a living, and I'm a little nervous today. I wanted to say thank you, Mr. President, and thank you, Bishop Green, and thank everyone at Allen University for hosting me today, because it feels special, right? When I think of this great-grandfather that I've heard about in my life, but never actually touched his legacy. So it's like the product of his loins coming to meet the product of his work. And it's an important day for me personally. And I know a lot of you guys are students, and I just want to tell you I'm the first person in my family to not go to college. And as the president has told you, I've done outstanding in spite of that. But one thing I did want to say, and one thing today just made me think about, for all the things that I've done, I'm most renowned for what I didn't do. I've made decisions in my career that a lot of people have called insane. 2004, had $50 million deal on the table, and in a crisis of conscience, flipped the table over and walked away. Went to South Africa. Everyone said I was running away from the money. That is not true. In fact, I still want that money. The idea that I wanted to just share with you guys is the idea that sometimes you do what you think is best, whether anybody understands it or not. I heard a story about my father where someone told me he used to do statistics for a company in D.C. The company he did statistics for started doing business with the South African government, so he quit his job. It's caused a lot of problems between him and his wife. It's hard for a man when he can't provide for his family the way he wants to, and he suffered through it. And a generation later, when I had my crisis of conscience, I was able to go to a free South Africa and get away from the heat. This idea that what you do in your lifetime informs the generations that comes after you is something I keep thinking about, something that is so much bigger than just ourselves. And today I'm standing in front of you guys, and I know you guys are like, oh, I know you're bored. But I see family of mine in the front row some who I've never met, and I just realize how all of us are connected. That my great-grandfather built something more substantial than buildings. He built a community, and he built, more importantly than a community, he built a way. You know, so I'm very grateful. Very grateful. Hello, police. I just saw him saying, you know what I mean? He's standing over like, so this is what black people talk about. I just want you guys to remember, you know, that right now there's this thing where ethics aren't what they used to be. This idea that people are trying to replace the ideas of good and bad with better or worse, and that is incorrect. You gotta keep your ethics intact because good and bad is a compass that helps you find the way. And a person that only does what's better or worse is the easiest type of person to control. They are a mouse in a maze that just finds the cheese. But the one who knows about good and bad will realize that he's in a maze. So, that being said, I just hope that all of you guys transcend whatever you see as your obstacles, and that you live outstanding lives, and that you stay connected to your communities because you have so much power there, and that you grow your communities and you diversify your communities, and that you don't let anybody tell you you can't or to be afraid. It's okay to be afraid because you can't be brave or courageous without fear. The idea of being courageous is that even though you're scared, you just do the right thing anyway. So in 2004, I walked away from $50 million, and in November, I made a deal for $60 million. So, although I am not the most famous comedian of my time, I would like to know what their great-grandfathers did. I'm very proud today. Thank you very much. Boy, this comes as a complete surprise. I mean, I read all the reviews, and they said so many terrible things. They were embarrassed for me. I had lost my way. It wasn't even worth watching. I hope all you critics learn from this. This is a teachable moment. Shut the fuck up forever. Two and a night. 2 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 and a night.
These aren't them. These are the ones I won for the other ones, motherfucker. I would like to thank my editor who was nominated. Unfortunately, he did not win, but I couldn't have been more honored to work with Jeff Urin. Stan Lathan has been directing television since 1968. Any show that I watched when I was growing up, he directed it. From Sesame Street to Sanford and Son to Good Times to Everything Black. And finally, you motherfuckers finally gave him an Emmy tonight. He deserves so much more, but I'm glad you came around. I'd like to shout out all the other nominees tonight. Tiffany Haddish and Patton Oswalt and Hannah Gatsby and Brother Mulaney. You guys are an inspiration to me, and I'm honored to be nominated with you. I'm sorry that you didn't win tonight, but who gives a fuck anyway? It's a special night because comedy gets to be itself. It's all we've ever wanted. I hope the war is over. We good? And as always, I'd love to thank my wife, Elaine. That's right. Elaine has been with me for the last 25 years and had to endure the pains of living with the greatest comedian ever. See you on Monday. Thank you very much. Good night.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I like not knowing what's going to happen. I like making memories. Sometimes I do all this crazy shit around my colleagues just so that they can tell their friends I did it. But rather than talk about myself, just briefly, I want to just talk about my genre. Stand-up comedy is an incredibly American genre. I don't think any other country could produce this many comedians. And unbeknownst to many people in this audience, I don't think there's opinion that it exists in this country that is not represented in a comedy club by somebody. Each and every one of you has a champion in the room. We watch you guys fight, but when we're together, we talk it out. I know comics that are very racist, and I watch them on stage, and everyone's laughing, and I'm like, that motherfucker means that shit. Don't get mad at them, don't hate them. We go upstairs and have a beer, and sometimes I even appreciate the artistry that they paint their racist opinions with. Man, it's not that serious. The First Amendment is first for a reason. The Second Amendment is just in case the first one doesn't work out. We gotta let some air out of the ball, man. The country's getting a little tight. It doesn't feel like it's ever felt in my lifetime. So tonight, I am honored that my colleagues are here in comedy and in music. And I want everyone in America right now to look at me. Look at me smoking indoors. I didn't ask anybody, I just did it. What are they gonna do? Kick me out before I get the prize? No, nigga, this is called leverage. The thing that I liked best about tonight was that I saw so many people from different parts of my life, like friends that I grew up with here in DC, friends of mine from Ohio then and now, friends of mine from comedy clubs, all the fucking musicians that blew my mind. You guys have no idea how you inspired me. I want to give a special shout out to my OG, Tony Woods. Miles Davis has a quote. It's one of my favorite. Miles Davis said so much cool shit, but one of the things he said I always loved, he said, it took me years to learn how to play like myself. You know, he would watch other musicians and he would try to play like Dizzy or Bird, or all the guys who were great. Tony Woods was my Dizzy and Bird if I was a Miles. I was trying to play like you. You were the first person I ever saw do it absolutely right. You were fearless and you told the truth. There's something so true about this genre, when done correctly, that I will fight anybody that gets a true practitioner of this art form's way, because I know you're wrong. This is the truth, and you are obstructing it. I'm not talking about the content, I'm talking about the art form. Do you understand? Do we have an agreement? And what I really wanted to say tonight, and I'm glad I get the platform to do it, I'm gay. I am gay, and I can't wait to see what this does for my career, being gay like this. So many special shout-outs. One of the main architects of the comeback of the century, my brother and my mentor, the mighty Stan Lathan. I never dreamed that I would be able to work with someone as great as you. These last 5 specials, straight fire. I wouldn't want to do another special with anybody else but you. So eat your motherfucking vegetables and live as long as you can, because we doing a few more of these bitches. Neil Brennan, your speech made me cry, because it reminded me of all those hard days of work and all that money I never got for it. The other real special shout out I gotta make, because none of this would have been possible on any level without this person, is my mother. Mom. My mother. Mom. You have no idea what I put this woman through. If you had just given birth to me, that would have been more than enough. But the fact that she raised me and raised me well. We had a real oral tradition in our house. I knew the word griot when I was a little boy. A griot was a person in Africa who was charged with keeping the stories of the village. Everyone would tell a griot the stories, and they would remember them all so that they could tell future generations. And when they got old, they'd tell them to someone else. And they say in Africa, when a griot dies, it's like a library was burnt down. And my mother used to tell me, before I ever thought about doing comedy, she said, you should be a griot. And she'd fill me with every story of black life. You know, she's educated in African American studies, and she would let me understand the context that I was being raised in. That I'm being raised in a hostile environment that I have to tame. By the time I was 14 years old, I was in nightclubs, mastering an adult world. It was terrifying. The crack epidemic was going on, and my mother would hear gunshots outside and be scared to death. Maybe it's my son. But early in my career, if you remember, Mom, you used to sit in the club with me. She'd do a full day of work. You'd be back there falling asleep, just waiting for me to go on. She would watch my show every night. Do you know how long that car ride is home? How many of you have ever heard your mother say, pussy jokes were a little too much tonight, son? I was a soft kid. I was sensitive, I'd cry easy, and I would be scared to fist fight. And my mother used to tell me this thing, I don't even know if you remember, but you said this to me more than once. You said, son, sometimes you have to be a lion so you can be the lamb you really are. I talk this shit like a lion. I'm not afraid of any of you. When it comes word to word, I will gab with the best of them, just so I can chill and be me. And that's why I love my art form, because I understand every practitioner of it. Whether I agree with them or not, I know where they're coming from. They want to be heard. They got something to say. There's something they notice. They just want to be understood. Love this genre. It saved my life. So tonight, Mom, I would like to honor you in a very special way that I cannot do on my own. But because now I'm a man with great and influential friends. I'd like to ask my man Thundercat to come out on the stage. Thundercat, the Mighty Most Def. Washington, D.C., thank you very much for giving me a home and a place to start. Today is officially Dave Chappelle Day in Washington, D.C. The mayor declared it last night. So, in the future, on Dave Chappelle Day, I ask everyone who wishes to celebrate it to make one incredible memory for themselves and or somebody else. Thank you very much. Good night.